striving for success. Join us, the Muflihoon team, every Sunday between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Inspire 105.1 FM. Okay, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Salatu Wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barika wa sallim. Jazakumullah khairan wa ahsanul jaza, brothers and sisters, parents of my beautiful children. Yes, they are your children, but they're also my children, because I spend half of my life with them. MashaAllah, all the week they're with me. So I know you've given them birth, but I'm helping, nurturing them as well, part of their life. Alhamdulillah. I do feel honored and privileged that you've given me this opportunity to help guide your children. And please make dua that Allah guides me, Allah keeps me on the right path. That's the most important thing for me. Alhamdulillah. Just to start off, my brothers and sisters, Anwar Bhai, I'll start with Anwar Bhai. Can you kindly tell me from our last session, what two things do you remember we talked about, and how have you and your wife in your house, how have you implemented the family meetings, and tell us one benefit.
Everybody. A couple of things about the meeting, or
Yes.
yeah. Well, once we talk about family meeting, yeah, we have we made an 8-point, about 8 to 10 point family mission statement. And one of them is always the Tarbiyyah and the recitation of the Quran, Hadith, and other family matters like homework, any other issues. So it's going well, Alhamdulillah.
So tell me, you know what, you have, mashallah, 3 girls and 1 boy, right? Yeah. So tell me when your family members, when they, say for example, one of the things every member of the family should be complimenting each other, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what your daughter, one of your daughters, complimented about you?
Okay, actually, probably haven't gone through that yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my Ismail at one point. We didn't go through all of everybody's complimentation. One thing my son Ismail said was that, Dad, what was that again? So I forgot that. It was like good at a lot of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good at a lot of things. Yeah. And well, I complimented them as well. So my compliment was that he has good ideas, and he is creative.
Okay, mashallah. And what about my sister, Aisha's mom, Mariam's mom? Mariam, what about Mariam's mom? Did you compliment your children?
Assalamu alaikum.
And I'm not going to ask you to what you complimented you make for Anwar Bhai, but I'll ask about your children.
মাশাআল্লাহ, ইসমাইল এভরিথিং পজিটিভ, বিশেষ করে বেশি হ্যাঁ উনি আমার কথা একটু, আর তারা একটু ফুরেন্তে যদি বুঝেন না এগুলো ফুরেন্তে করে কেন একটু হ্যাঁ আনসার যে কুইকলি তো ওটা একটু প্রবলেম হয়ে যায় আমার লাগে সলভ করতে, আর বাট আমি হয়ে গেলে বুঝাইয়া ঠিক আছে ওই যায় কি।
I think his mom, she's always complimenting.
Mashallah, that's good. Excellent.
There's a lot of things like even reading, writing, and
okay. Jazakallah Anwar Bhai. I'm just going to ask any other parents if they could come and join with us, please. Also share with me parents, Mohsin's parents, Jannah's parents, Hamza's parents. Please share with us. Yasin's parents. Those of you I can see with us, can you please share with us how you have spent family time? How has it been for you? Share, because you know when one parent shares with another parent, then it gives a more of a boost, yeah. And because I may give you the best of ideas, but these ideas, unless you put into practice and unless you face the challenges and how you deal with these challenges, it's not going to be. It's going to be just ideas, floating in the air. So you need to put into practice for you to really say if it's working for you or not. If there are challenges, if it's not working for you, then you need to tell me so that I can help you, inshallah ta'ala. So can Hamza's mom, can you speak, or Hamza's dad, who's there, please?
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum. Yes, sister.
Alhamdulillah, it's going good for you, and obviously with me having older children, teenagers, it's difficult to have family time, like try and get them involved.
Mm-hmm.
So we do try as much as we can, and we do try and spend a bit more time together rather than them being on their own upstairs in the room or us being downstairs. We try and sit down, every now and then in the evening, just spend a bit of time together, just because we've had that gap, kind of bridging that gap again slowly.
Okay. Can I maybe recommend something? Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay, so I would recommend, the things that you do as a family where everyone gets together. For example, eating food, you eat together,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even once a week, maybe you as a family should treat each other, yeah? I'm sure you do that anyway, every family does, once a week. When you do, but you as parents, you should plan it ahead. Yeah, that okay, so we're gonna order food that day, and that day we're gonna you can start as parents, take the initiative, at least for the first few weeks. You take lead into doing that family time. Okay, so you set the ground, you set the example, and then inshallah ta'ala, it doesn't have to be every week, it can be every 2 weeks. Yeah, whenever you can manage everyone to sit together that day, where your husband takes that day off, yeah, that day when everyone is together, you talk about things, i.e. we talked about how you should compliment each other. You should talk about one good thing happened to you this week. Share one good happy moment. Share one sad moment between yourself. But everyone should share that, because no one knows inside how things make you feel, isn't it? Yeah. So unless you bring that out, unless you bring those feelings out and share it with one another, you could be you could be mom and dad, you could be mom and son, you could be sisters and sisters, but unless you bring it out in front of somebody and share your feelings, no one's going to know. You will live under the same roof, but it's not going to really. That's why most those families who don't have mother and daughters, father and sons, father and people don't they're not on the same wavelengths, i.e. they cannot sit together eye to eye, open-heartedly discuss things and come up with a unified solution, is only because they don't spend time talking to each other, listening to each other's feelings. Because feelings are something Allah has put in all of us. Feelings make someone behave in the way they do. Now, if, for example, if you're, I'm giving you examples, sister, so don't use it personally.
Yeah, that's fine.
Imagine your daughter goes to school, right? And she has a bad day. Maybe she forgot to do her homework, and the teachers are accounting her for it. And then everyone else in the class are having a giggle, okay?
Yeah.
She's not going to feel proud of herself. She's going to feel quite upset and sad about this, okay? Because of the way the teacher's going on about it, and everyone is listening, and she's being the target of the class, okay? Now, if she brings that out in the family meeting, and every member of the family knows about this, hears about this, then you can support your child better. You can comfort her. Her father can say, daughter, don't worry. Inshallah, next time, if you get homework, inshallah, we'll help you, or we will encourage you, or we will, reward you, whatever it is. But when you give that comforting message to your child, and every week or every 2 weeks when you sit down together and you talk about anything sad or anything happy happened to each other, what happens is you as respectful parents of the family, you're creating an atmosphere in your house where everyone can talk freely to each other, open their feelings to each other. And in that way, you will understand your daughter when she's growing up, your son as he's growing up, and father will understand, and the children will understand what my parents like and what they dislike and what brings them joy, what brings them sadness. In that way, our children will respect us and love us also equally, because we're setting the trend, we're setting an example for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So ask them in the first meeting. It'll be good to ask your children what would they like, get their buy-in. So if they say, oh dad, mom, if you do that I'll be interested, or if you do this I'll be interested. So it doesn't have to be an Islamic topic, okay? You can bring Islam into it. Anything you can bring Islam into it. But maybe it's about football, for example. Maybe your daughter's like, I don't know, some kind of they may like dessert, for example, yeah? I don't know, anything and everything. Let them talk about something they're passionate about, okay? And then everyone says their little bit, and then everyone compliments each other, then everyone shares a good and a sad moment during the week happened in the house or personally, share with each other. Because what's happened to you at work, for example? I know you work, yeah? I'm not sure if you're working now, but if there are things happen to you were happy with at your work, and if you came in and you shared that in your family meeting with your husband, your children, because they're at work or they're studying and whatever, but when you share the happy moment, something happened at class, and you share that with everybody, they will know next time, wow, this pleases mom. Yeah, and they look for opportunities to bring a smile to your face, for example. Or if they know something very upset that some kids did, next time they know mom doesn't like that. Yeah, I'll try to better behave. Or
I think in a way, we do tend to talk about our day-to-day life, or me coming back from work. I'm still, during the COVID, I'm only working 3 days at the moment. I do come back and talk about my days, and it's different. It's nice to see them. They ask me, how was it, or how was work today? Because they're at home now. So it's nice. I think we're getting there because we've had that gap in generations, and it's different how we grew up to how they are now.
Yes.
I think we need to overcome that bridge. As a parent, we need to overcome. We're not living in that generation anymore.
Definitely. Many of you young parents, I know I'm a young parent myself. Yeah, I'm still 19, by the way, as you know. I'm the youngest parent you can ever imagine. Yeah. Now, my eldest daughter is 24. I'm still 19. Mashallah. One of the benefits you'll find in these family meetings, that as you grow, because of you doing this continuous family meeting, your understanding as family members will be very, very, very inclusive. Yeah, it will be all rounder. So when it comes to marriage, when it comes to jobs and other stuff, as they grow up, go to university, subhanallah, you will be at peace in your heart, because your child understands you understand them, and the rest obviously is in Allah's hands. But you won't have arguments, you won't have those problems which normally families have. That's the whole point of these family Tarbiyyah classes that I'm doing with yourselves, inshallah. And because my classes, I can only support them so much, but I know they respect me, I know they listen to me, but that's not good enough. We need parents and ustad together supporting our children, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, Sister Hamza. Jazakallah khair. Sister, is there Mohsin's parents? Anyone available? Sister Salma, would you like to share with us?
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes,
sure.
Yes, please.
So basically what we did, we did a timetable for the children. And so, for example, during the daytime, it's like remote learning and everything. Then they've got their mosque classes and everything. So in between, we do activities. Especially like with Yassin, Liana, we go for a walk. They go on their bikes and their scooter and everything. This is like an everyday thing that we do. And like in the evening, we do activities, board games, and during the weekends, all of us we sit around and we watch the Prophet stories. And when we're having our dinner, we kind of talk about the positive and negative things that's happened during the day. If anyone's got anything positive to say, anything negative. My children, most of the time, they say, "Oh, Mom, we love your cooking," and that's about it.
MashaAllah. Are you indirectly inviting me? Yes.
But what I try to do is I want both like Yassin and Liana to be more nice to each other rather than
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Both of them, they're just talking negative about each other.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm trying to work on.
Inshallah. This is what I want you guys to talk to me, share with me your problems, your experiences. So on that particular thing you just mentioned about both of your children, okay, we need to be mindful they're kids, number one. And number two, if they watch Horrid Henry, if they watch Bart Simpson and those cartoons, obviously they're all about the Western media and social media, and whatever it promotes is all about challenging, putting other people down and showing you are better than someone else. However, Islamic cartoons and Islamic reminders always teaches us on a principle that you should love for yourself what you love for others. So, and for example, the better person is the one who sacrifices what he has for someone else, for example. And on the day of judgment, Allah will honor those who sacrifice and give up what they want for others, and so on and so forth. So when we do our family times, for example, if you for example have some food and you bring something delicious that they want or they like, for example, both of you, and then you show as an example, say, look, give it to one of them and say, okay, and let's see what you do now. Okay, so if he doesn't give to his sister or she doesn't give, then you can mention the hadith, how the Prophet ﷺ, whenever he is to start his iftar or any food, he would share, before he puts it in his mouth, he will share what he's got with the Sahabas, his companions first, or his daughter Fatima. He'll give them first, and what's remaining he will eat by saying Bismillah, and Allah will give him, by saying Bismillah, there's so much blessing, and Allah will fill his tummy up. Meaning, so what you've done here is you've given them something and see what they do, and when you see they didn't do it correctly, you share them an example of the Prophet, because they will love the Prophet and how the Prophet did things. Maybe they don't know about it, right? So when you give them an example through the Prophet's life about sacrifice, try and Google different characteristics of the Prophet. For example, how he would share, how he would be truthful, how he would show his honesty, how he sacrificed, how he was honest, how he was kind. Google things, the Prophet's, how he was an example to mankind, and then through different weeks that you do your family time, you can introduce little, within 2-3 minutes, you can introduce some of these concepts. So slowly your children will get it in their head. But don't expect them to be all hanky-dory from day one. This will come gradually, because you'll be doing it consistently. Consistent effort is what Allah looks for. And any human being, when they're consistent in anything, they become better and confident. Inshallah, Salma, Sister Salma, your children, because you've taken this step, and both of you together, husband and wife, and your children, you will be always supported, because you will not leave them. Where most parents fail is because they leave their children in front of the tablets and the iPhones and whatever, and that iPhone and whatever is educating their children, is taking over their life. And they're not learning anything positive there. They're just spending time. And when you, sorry, go on, Karim.
Mulva, can I just say, the TV time and everything, it has reduced a lot.
MashaAllah.
Because, I am keeping them busy throughout the whole day. Even like with Liana, I'll get her to make something nice in the evening. With Yasin, like he likes playing football and basketball. I play with him during the daytime. So throughout the whole day, they're kind of busy with activities and everything, and the TV time and tablets is reduced a lot.
MashaAllah. May Allah reward you, and may Allah make you an example for other sisters to follow as well, because sisters, those of you who are with me today, alhamdulillah, you all have beautiful children, you all want the best for them, but before we expect our dreams to come true, i.e. or our expectations even to come close of our children, there has to be a lot of effort. A sincere effort needs to be put in place, and I'm sure some of you will share with us. Sister Nur Jahan, sister, any other sisters, feel free, please. I'm going to give you another 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to share with something that I prepared for yourselves, inshallah. Any other sisters, or shall I just call names out?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Dear sister, is that Muhsin?
Not.
Yes, your mom.
Muhsin. That means the mother, Muhsin's mother.
I don't know. I think Muhsin is safe first, so I don't know.
Carry on, my sister.
Twice a week আমরা যে করি ফ্যামিলি মিটিং করি, বাট মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম আমার হাজবেন্ড থাকেন না, বাট আমি চিলড্রেন লগে ট্রাই করে করতাম, আর ওয়ান্স আ উইক আমরা ফ্যামিলি বইও করি। আর স্টার্টিং জানি তো ট্রাই করলাম যে আমি অলওয়েজ ট্রাই করি বা চিন্তা লেগে প্লে করতাম বা মারতাম, বা তারা জিজ্ঞাসা করতাম যে তুমি কিতা করতে চাই যায়, বা তুমি তোমার অপিনিয়ন কিতা, বা প্লে হোক বা ফটো ধরে কাম। আমরা নাইট টাইম, মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম নাইট টাইম, ওকে তুমি কিতা বলা চাও, তুমি তো হও, বা তোমার অপিনিয়ন কিতা, কিলা হলে তুমি খুশি, আজকে কি তারাই ছাড় আসলা বা এখানে তুমি ছাড় আসছো।
Do you find any challenges? Have you found any challenges?
Yeah.
What challenges did you find? Is there any challenge you find with your children? I.e., maybe when everyone wants to sit together, but one is busy.
Yeah. That's okay. Sit down. Yeah. For example, Tahsin quite shy ta হয়, তো আমি তাদের কি চাই করতাম, মহসিন তাজমিন তারা কিছু এভরিথিং শেয়ার করতে চাই, তাহসিনের কোনটা শেয়ার করতে চাই না, তো I try to encourage him and then get time try to share করতে।
Okay. So if you speak to, for example, his brothers or his sister, maybe he's not sharing everything. I know he's shy, but if you talk to both of your children, you'll find out something that he likes. Okay. Yeah. So if you find out what he likes, get him involved, because even if he talks little bit, compliment korba, praise him, প্রশংসা করবা, praise him and compliment him, and then slowly, even when if Muhsin, Tazmin and you do it, your husband must get involved, because it's a family thing, and try and arrange a day when your husband got day off, rather than doing, obviously you can do any other day, but when your husband is there, it's very important that all of you are there, because a very strong household, a very successful house is when the husband and wife, the mother and father are there for their children. If father and mother are not there, as one parent, you will never be completely successful, because there will be imbalance. Balance tahtona each child life, the way they think when they behave. So I'm not saying about you, sister. I'm talking about generally. Any family, imbalance. However, আপনারা dun what you're doing, inshallah continue, and even if Tahsin is not giving his input, he is not sharing, even if he's sitting somewhere else and listening, and then you will see inshallah soon as possible you will see that he will want to share, because he can see everyone is happy, everyone is sharing stories, everyone talking something. He will say, oh mom, I've got something to say. So মানে বেশি দিন থাকতে পারতো না, এগুলা আইয়া শেয়ার করবো ইনশাআল্লাহ। কন্টিনিউ করো।
Two weeks ago, I think the husband and wife all together Islam. Last 2 weeks, Marsina. So, আমি দইলো কথা হলো every week try করি।
Okay, so your husband, when I know he does, he's go free, he can make time in the evening, or even in the weekend. When both of you are there, Afa, please try and be a family time when you're both are there. It's very important.
Yeah, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, sister. Anyone else? I've got 3-4 minutes. Anyone else, sisters? Where's my brave sisters? Come on. All the brothers are shy. They're all gone. Umma Yusuf, are you there, sister?
Yes, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. How are you, my sister? Okay?
Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. This is my sister. She's from Hokulring area, isn't it?
Yes,
sister?
No, I just a bit far of the area. I was Shamti area. I live Shamti area.
Okay, mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khair for sending Yusuf to the classes.
Yeah.
Can you share with us some of the family times that you have? Any challenges, any happy things that you've benefited?
Alhamdulillah, have Yusuf is and I got adult children, which one is he's the second youngest Yusuf, only one daughter younger than Yusuf, and Alhamdulillah we just make gathering, and like we just sit together, and before we say, are they interested? Before I start, before you, if I recommended for the parents when you send I see the group. Before of that, I just and said we like one day a week we just sit down and we just whatever is sharing whatever is not hard thing, just to sit even together to understand, to just everyone bringing what they can see, both positive, negative, what they found, what everything is. Alhamdulillah, the interesting and good. But really, I didn't continuously. Every time I felt it's only me who runs, not my husband. It's only me. So every time when I lived in a couple of weeks, I just stop and then start and then stop. But I just try to.
Okay, my sister. Yeah, Jazakallah. Sister, listen, you are doing a great job, my sister. Listen, may Allah will give you so much reward and keep you smiling all the way until you get to Jannah, inshallah. Amen. So, if you, for example, your husband, does he work?
Yes.
Okay. So, does he have any days off?
Yes, some days is off.
Okay, so the days he has off, for example, obviously speak to him that the day you have off, I would like to sit with all my children. I would like you to please teach us something, or tell us maybe about when you were young, how you grew up, how your parents how they gave their time and sacrifice for you. Share that with your children, share that with me. Okay, so something is very passionate to him, ask him to share with all the family, isn't it? Yeah, and then you share about when you were a child, how it was for you and your grandparents and all that. Our children, subhanallah, you and me, and we brought up in our countries, yeah, whether it's Africa, whether it's Bangladesh, whatever, our families were very, very close, right? our grandparents, everyone very close. In this country, it makes people very selfish, and everyone is in their own houses. It's not, there is no that, the feeling of unity is not there as a family. So what we have to do is try to use these family meetings in order to talk and share about these emotional moments that we had when we were young, before we got married. You parents, you got married. There's a story behind it, yeah? Your children should know that. Your children should feel, mashallah, my parents got married like that. Wow, amazing. They should be happy knowing my parents are happy. You should you as parents, as wives, you're already making food for us, for the husband, right? You should make the husband make food that day and go buy some food, bring it and serve everybody. You should be the queen. You should be the queen on the table, and we should serve you as mothers, as wives. Do you understand? Inshallah.
It's very hard, inshallah. I just keep dua really.
Inshallah.
I feel it's especially when my kids grow up more, I like more worry when they was young. Because it's where they are, when they go in uni, this age, I'm so worried really. And the only dua really, because it's it's not something I can do everything, subhanallah.
Yes, of course.
They have another generation is
100%.
Yeah, it's so very, it's so hard. It's you feel when you see, subhanallah.
I know many parents on this group. They have the similar concerns you have. Every Muslim parents have this concern for their children. So the two things I would say, brothers, sisters and brothers, is that you continue these family times as much as you can. Do different ways. Okay, not the same thing every time, different things. But make sure you have some Islamic teachings in those family times, okay? And everyone should open their feelings to each other, okay? And number 3, make dua. After every session, make dua that your children, Allah looks up to them, because parents, listen, you and me, we can only do so much. They are Allah's creation. It is only Allah who is going to guide them. Muhammad was sent as a messenger. He was not sent to make sure people live in a way particular. No, he couldn't change people. If the guidance was in the hands of Muhammad, do you think his uncle Abu Talib or Abu Lahab, they would die as a kafir? Of course not. They would be Muslims. So therefore, hidayah is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What we should do is make our effort, and secondly, trust in Allah, tawakkal in Allah. Oh Allah, protect my children from the harms and the ills of the society that we live in. So continue making dua for your children. Every sujood you make, every ruku' you make dua for you. Remember them, oh Allah, guide me and my children, guide my family, keep us in the straight path. Allah will never return the dua for their children. Allah will never return the dua of the parents for their children, and the children's dua for their parents. When you make dua, try and make the dua loud, so your children hear about you, hear what you're praying for them. When you're crying, try and cry in front of your children that you're crying for them and their success. They may not appreciate it today, but inshallah in a few years they will appreciate. They say, Ya Allah, my mother, my father, they used to cry for me, they used to pray for me, how much they loved me. And they will understand, appreciate later on, maybe not now, but they should hear you. That's my point. Inshallah, sisters.
Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah feek. Jazakallah. Okay, sisters, that was our sister from, I think sister come from Somal. Is it Somal?
Yeah, Somalia, yeah.
Somalia. Allah give you below barakah, sister, and Jazakallah for sharing your comments with all the groups here. So we have different families here. We have brothers and sisters from Pakistan, Bangladesh, different background. All my children's parents are from different backgrounds, and Alhamdulillah, I'm really privileged. Allah has given me opportunity to have a relationship with all my parents of my students. Jazakallah khair. So today's just a short reminder, sisters and brothers. I want you to be looking forward to, inshallah ta'ala, is to how you should spell family time. Family meeting is what we've been discussing for the last 2-3 weeks. Okay, so I presented it, then I talked about it following, and then I got feedback. And this week I want you to have more feedback, because now you seem to be doing it in your house, and you'll come across problems, but inshallah you have to overcome these problems by discussing with me. Inshallah I'll help you through. Okay, so family time, these are the points you should try and remember. I will message these points in the group, inshallah. Number 1, you should try and free yourself and have a free session for your children. So free yourself, you or your children. So for example, the fathers should make a free time for their daughters. Or every child, actually. A father should make time for every child, because you as mothers, you're already spending, mashallah, a lot of time with your children. But dads, usually they're at work or they're with their friends and whatever not, and they're missing out on quality time with their children. So quality time, the family time I'm talking about, is before you allocate something, you should have in your family meeting, you should agree that one day every week, for at least 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours, you as a father or a mother, you should spend that 2 hours or 1 hour with one child, only one child. Okay, and leave the other children with the other parent. You should go out, maybe to the park, maybe to a food shop, or go for a walk, or whatever you do. You and your child only. You and one of your child, okay? Not two, only one. The reason is because the full attention will be given to that child. And every child needs full attention and full effort, 1 full hour or 2 hours with them will make them feel, my mom and my dad, they really, really care for me. They really, it will bond you in a different way, inshallah ta'ala. Try and allocate £10 or £20, or even 20, depending what your income is. Even if it's £10 for each child, for that time you're going to go out with them, put £10 aside that you'll give them that money, and you'll say, this is your time with me. Yeah, not your time with them, but their time with you. Make them feel special. This is their time, and they are spending time with you as a parent. Parents, are you understanding my point here? It's their time with you, not the other way around. We should not feel it's our time we're giving them. It's their time. They have haqq over us. Our children have rights over us. Our children need to feel ownership of that time, that 1 hour or 2 hours. Make sure you don't make it half an hour, please. 1 hour minimum, 2 hours, or even 3 hours. Also, they need to feel that they are arranging the time. Okay, so don't make the time and say, oh, this is the time I'm going to go out. When you discuss with them in your family meeting, discuss with them that when would you like to go out. So you obviously, if you're working in an office 8 to 5 or something, then your child obviously would know what times you are out and you're working. But then tell them, look, weekends I'm available, whatever, and then let them say, Dad, I'd like to go in the afternoon. If the afternoon time is what they want to spend with you, sacrifice everything else for your child for that time, because then they will think, mashallah, you know what, my dad, my mom, they're listening to me. They are putting what they want to do aside for me. If you sacrifice for someone, they will appreciate you naturally. So us as parents, we need to be the ones who sacrifice. Show that by example. When you listen to them, when you're there with them for the hour or 2 hours, listen to them. Let them open up. Let them bring the most deepest things in their heart with you. Okay, what they like, what they don't like, what they hate. If something happened to them 4 years ago, and you being the mother or the father, you don't know that something happened to your child, but that hurt your child so much, or something happened, the child was so happy, but the child didn't share with you. Allow them to bring up those sessions, those moments with you, and listen to them. Don't judge them. Parents, whenever you listen to them, don't judge them. Don't make comments. Just say, MashaAllah, well done. Amazing. Wow, I didn't know about this. Wow, I feel really good knowing about this. I wish you did tell me, but don't worry. Now I know. I'm really grateful. When I was a kid, my parents never told me this or shared with me. So compliment them. Let them talk more and more. Allow them to open up to you, okay? And disclose to you and so that you know your child better, inshallah ta'ala. And then also plan a few things ahead and suggest to your children, would you like to do this? How about this? Because for the beginning they might feel awkward what they want to do, they don't know. But if you're already quite close with your children, you know what they like and you can suggest it, but let them make that decision. Let them, even if they're young children or older, let them make that decision. This will make them ownership. Okay, give them ownership. They will make them feel they are arranging this meeting. Because of them, you're going out. They'll feel proud of themselves, inshallah ta'ala. I hope you brothers and sisters have taken some notes or understood what I've been saying. If there's anything you have, please ask me, inshallah. Today I want to keep it simple, but those are the things that you need to have you need to plan for family time, not family meeting, family time. Ji sister.
जी हम बात है कि तखवीता हो सलाम हरो
Assalamu alaikum, Ustad.
Assalamu alaikum, Hamza. How are you?
We went walk, me and Jana and my mum.
MashaAllah. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. We played outside.
Sorry?
Can I spy halaisun?
Oh, you spy, I spy. Well, I spy with my small eyes or big eyes. Which one?
Which one?
What do you say, Ustad?
When I play with my kids, I say, I spy with my great, fat, amazing, humongous eyes, something beginning with J. For example, yeah? How did you play?
Okay.
What did you say?
যাই কয়েকদিন গেছি কিছুদিন বেলা হচ্ছে না নেই
জি
তো ওমর নাদিরও গেছুন কয়েকদিন আর জান্নার হামজালি আমি বেশিরভাগ যাই তারা আব্বাও যায়নি
ওকে মাশাআল্লাহ মাশাআল্লাহ
দিনকো তো আমি জান্নার হামজা 45 মিনিট আমরা আসছি না হামজা
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ মাশাআল্লাহ
খালি জান্নার হামজা তো খালি কইবা ফ্যামিলি মিটিং করবার লাগে বুঝছেন বড় দুজন তো বেশি বইতাছেন না
the challenge you find with your older children, for example, that's one of the reasons why a lot of families struggle is because maybe these kind of things started late. When between parents and children and there is a gap as they're growing up because of their studies, because of their making new friends at school, there is a gap being created, okay? Because of this gap, what happens is children try to connect, or they build feelings towards games and friends and other stuff, and because as parents we're busy obviously maintaining family, and because we're not making a family time specifically or family meeting specific time, what happens is the gap is growing, and as children grow up at teenage, they get bored very quickly because their feelings inside them, their hormones is changing, is developing, so everything they find boring, so they need stimulating, they need excitement, they want excitement all the time, challenging. I know it's not easy for all the parents, but if we try and make even once a week small things, inshallah, try and buy maybe family quiz, Quran challenge, The Quran challenge is a game, charades and different things. Try and contact your family members on phone, on Zoom, in other parts of the country, and try and do a family meeting where you have like a charades game, or a quiz or something, involve other families. So even your children, if they don't get engaged with you at that time, tell them you have to sit downstairs when we're doing this. Whether we don't want you to be upstairs at that time. Upstairs room should be closed. Look, even if they're upset, let them be upset. We want you to be down here. Even if they don't get engaged, they will listen what you're doing. Eventually, they will say, what am I missing out for? I should give some time. But don't give them a chance not to join. Okay, don't listen to them. No, I'm busy with my work. No, we're going to take half an hour. Your work you can do half an hour later. Inshallah. Okay. So if Jannah, you and your husband and your little boy, if they do it, I'm sure your younger one, what's his name, Nadir will also join as well. So even the other child who doesn't join in, if he'll listen, he'll learn. If he's going through his ears, even if he's sitting doing something else, doesn't look like he's joining, but he will hear the good things that you're doing. Yeah? And the worst thing we can do is force our children. But just let them know that we are doing something. They should know my parents are, because a lot of the time children don't see their parents having a laugh, having a joke, talking to each other. It's usually, give me food, or usually shopping, but it's all happening outside without them seeing my parents are together, they love each other, they respect each other. It's very important your children see husband and wife as parents close to each other. Very, very important. Whatever you do, even if you have to lie to your husband to make up this, do it, because this lying is going to be a reward for you. If you have to make up a story, do that. It's allowed. Sharia has given you permissible. To make up between two Muslims who are not friends, who are not talking to each other, if you have to lie to make them friends, this is a reward for you. A Muslim is allowed to lie in three occasions. One, if his wife or his partner makes food for them and the food is not nice, and they say, MashaAllah, it's beautiful. It's lie, but this is halal. This you get reward for. Some parents are giggling and some people are laughing their head off. But this is true. Allah will give you reward. But because this shows that you appreciate someone's effort that they have made. Okay, they spend 2 hours in the kitchen preparing something, and you are just coming home and saying, "Whoa, there's so much salt there. It's too dry. I can't. It's not enough." So this will make you go crazy. That's why the person.
Interrupt.
I hope it's from your wife and not your next door neighbor. Otherwise, you get a horror fan on your head.
Well, I think I found out as from my neighbor.
So parents, please, inshallah ta'ala, compliment each other in front of your children. It's very, very important. So I was saying, you can lie when it comes to that. When cooking, for example, number two for food. Sorry, number two is when to make up to Muslims. To make up to Muslims, giving the quarrel, and they have cut a relationship with each other. For you to lie or make up a story so that these two people get together again, this is halal for you. It's not haram. This lie is not haram. This is a worship to Allah, in fact. And also there's a third one, I think, is if you are under force, duress, when you are captured by the enemies and they want you to tell the secrets of the Muslims, here you can lie to protect the Muslim secrets. So these are three things that I know of. If Allah forgive me if I'm wrong in anything. I ask Allah to reward all of us for hearing and sharing everything we've learned today. I really, I I'm grateful to Allah. Sisters, all of you, you have given your time, your evening. All of you joined me, and you've shared a very, very important things, I would say, because many parents, they don't have anyone to talk to, and I, whatever I am able to do my parents, I'm trying to do with you and your children and your family. I really ask you to pray for me and my family, and I pray that your relationship, your family becomes more stronger, an example, and you could give example to other families. You go cousins, you go sisters, you go brothers. You know what? Everyone who's got family, they will come across problems if they don't have that family relationship, a strong relationship. And through the things I've been talking to you about, family meetings and family time, this will narrow the gap. This will build, mashallah, you will pave the grounds for your future life. You know, when you and I get old, we don't want to be sent to old people's home. We want our children to value us and be around us. So with these words, alhamdulillah, parents, I've come to the end of the show. But to conclude, I'll just remind you that we have talked and we've got feedback from parents who spoke about how they've had family meetings in their houses, how they've spent time with their children. Parents shared their comments of compliments, their moments of sadness and moments of pleasure, happiness. They've shared it, and the responses they've had from their children and how they have responded to their children. MashaAllah, it's been really encouraging and amazing hearing from parents, mashallah. We also talked about how to have family time. Family time is very, very important, where the kids, they take lead. They say, Dad, I want to do this with you. Mom, I want to do this with you. They have ownership. You give them the ownership of this time, this 2 hours or this 1 hour, but make sure it is individual time that you give your child. So, and that will make them appreciate you a lot more than ever, because they are able to express themselves in the time that you give them, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.